Before we begin, two quick things. One, I created a free companion journal to help you go deeper with this video. It's available right now at writeonedigital.com. No sign up, just support. Two, if this message resonates, consider subscribing. I'm close to 500 subscribers, and this space grows because of people like you finding their way here. All right, let's get into it. We live in a time where everything is quick. A few swipes on TikTok and you're deep in the spiritual algorithm, 10 steps to healing, 3 signs you're awakening, how to raise your vibration before breakfast. But your soul contract? That's not a shortcut. That's not something you can bypass with journaling and a full moon bath. You didn't come here to just understand growth. You came to live it. Before you incarnated, you agreed to the exact family, culture, career path, relationship dynamics, and belief systems you're now trying to make sense of. And not just the sweet parts, the betrayals, the breakdowns, the moments that made you question your sanity. You signed up for that too, not because you wanted pain, but because you needed embodiment. You can't download courage. You have to be put in a situation that demands it. You can't fully understand boundaries until yours have been crossed. You can't reclaim your voice until it's been silenced, maybe for years. Your soul said yes to this timeline, knowing full well that it would include the partner who cheated or ghosted you, the career that looked good on paper but drained your soul, the religious conditioning that once gave you comfort but now keeps you stuck, the friend you outgrew but stayed loyal to, the patterns you swore you'd never repeat, and still did. That wasn't failure. That was the field trip. Earth is the practicum, the lab. This is where theories go to be tested. And yes, it's hard. It's supposed to be. Growth doesn't happen in your head. It happens when life doesn't go as planned, and you still decide to show up differently. You're not here to perform spiritual perfection. You're here to get it wrong, get up again, and actually integrate what you've been preaching. So if your life has felt like a series of losses, misalignments, and identity crises, that's not you doing it wrong. That's you doing the contract. Every time something collapses, a relationship, a job, your sense of self, it creates space for the real you to step in. And that's the point. You didn't come here to read about growth. You came here to walk through it, barefoot, with your old beliefs falling off one by one. So the next time you think, why me? Try asking instead, why not me? Because the truth is, you knew exactly what you were signing up for. And now, you're living it. Some of us didn't come here to be healed. We came here to break generational curses, to close out karmic loops, to be the first one in the family who said, I'm not doing this anymore. That means breaking patterns like gambling, drug, and alcohol dependency, being loyal to dysfunction because it's blood, saying yes when everything in you wants to say no, code switching just to survive, deprogramming from Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, or cults you were born into but never aligned with keeping family secrets, because that's just how it is. Wearing hyper-independence like a badge of honor, performing duty while secretly erasing yourself. This is soul surgery, and you're doing it without a manual. Let's be honest, this isn't glamorous. It's not going viral. If someone's calling this nirvana, they're not awakening. They're following a trend. This is heavy. It's isolating, it's brutal, and it's not for the weak, because pattern breaking means feeling everything your ancestors suppressed. It means saying no when silence is expected. It means being judged, misunderstood, sometimes even cut off. You will be labeled the rebel, the sensitive one, the troublemaker, the black sheep. But that's just what they call the one who remembers. You weren't sent here to blend in, you were sent here to interrupt. And yeah, it's hard to break patterns when all you've ever seen is survival. You may not know what healthy even looks like yet, but that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you're in the middle of the contract. Some days you'll question yourself, some days you'll fall back into what you're trying to break. But each time you wake up and choose differently, even in a small way, that's the work. That's you rewriting the script in real time. And whether your family ever thanks you or not, you've already changed the timeline. One day, a generation will look back and say, they didn't keep the pain going. They ended it. And that alone makes your mission sacred. Sometimes your soul comes back to reclaim what you gave away last time. Your voice, your boundaries, your intuition, your self-trust. Maybe in a past life, you stayed silent to survive. Maybe you betrayed yourself to be accepted. Maybe you gave someone else the power to define who you were, what you believed, or what you were allowed to feel. This time, you came back with the contract that says, not again. But here's the thing about reclaiming your power. It doesn't happen in theory. It happens in the same kind of situations where you lost it before. The same dynamics, the same manipulation, the same silence, the same guilt, the same gaslighting. So you get to make a different choice. It's not punishment. It's a reset. That relationship that triggered every insecurity, that wasn't random. That was the soul setup. A mirror, a test, a checkpoint for you to choose yourself out loud. You don't reclaim power and comfort. You reclaim it by disrupting the loop. You walk away from the person you once chased. You speak up when your body wants to freeze. You trust your no. You listen to your gut even when it makes no sense on paper. And you do it scared, shaky, and sometimes crying in the car right after, but you do it anyway, because every time you stand in your truth, you pull that power back like a thread. Not just from this life, but from all the ones where you couldn't. Reclaiming power isn't always loud. Sometimes it looks like not explaining yourself, not texting back, not overperforming to be chosen, saying, I don't agree with that. And letting the silence sit. Your soul didn't come back for ease. It came back for alignment. So if your life lately has felt like a cycle of tough choices, losses, confrontations, and emotional friction, good. It means the contract is unfolding. You're not losing your mind. You're becoming the version of you who knows how to stay whole. And that's how you change the trajectory, not just for yourself, but for everyone who comes after you. And that alone makes your mission sacred. Not every soul signs up to heal themselves. Some come here to wake other people up just by existing. You might be one of them. Your presence alone triggers something in others, and not always in a comfortable way. You walk into the room and people either light up or pull away. It's not personal, it's energetic. Your soul carries codes, not buzzwords, not branding, actual frequencies that remind people of what they've forgotten about themselves. You didn't choose the easy path, you chose the reflector path. You're the one that makes people see their own stuff, the good, the buried, the denied. You don't even have to say much. Just being real in a world full of performance is enough to activate people. This is why some folks treat you like a threat, even when you're kind. Even when you're quiet. Because your existence challenges the masks they're still wearing. That's the mirror. But it doesn't mean you're perfect. In fact, your own struggles are part of your assignment. The heartbreak, the identity shifts, the losses, they're not distractions from your mission. They're how you stay human while doing spiritual work. Some activators come through as teachers, coaches, bosses, healers. Others? They show up raw and unfiltered, posting that one truth no one wants to say, walking away from roles everyone thought they'd stay in, living fully when they were expected to shrink. It's not about popularity. It's about permission. You give people permission to be real, to question the script, to feel what they've numbed out. And yeah, it can be lonely. You might feel like no one fully sees you because they're always reacting to their own reflection. You might feel responsible for everyone's growth. You might even try to dim it down just to fit in. But you weren't sent to fit in. You were sent to shake things loose. You're the glitch in the system, the pause in the performance, the frequency that won't let people keep pretending. So if you've been doubting your path because it doesn't look like everyone else's, good. That means you're not here to copy. You're here to activate, and you've already been doing it. Every time you showed up real, every time you chose truth over comfort, you delivered the medicine. Let's keep it real. Earth is not the easiest dimension. You could have stayed in the higher realms, peaceful, floaty, aligned. But there's one thing you don't get up there: free will in its rawest form. Here, you forget who you are, you doubt what you feel, you fall for illusions, and still, you're expected to remember. That's the point. This realm is dense. There's duality, distraction, resistance. You're not handed your blueprint. You're dropped into a family with history, trauma, and survival patterns, and then told, good luck figuring it out. And yet, your soul said yes, because soul growth here is earned, not inherited. It's easy to talk about love when you're surrounded by light, but can you choose love after betrayal? Can you trust your path when nothing is working? Can you make peace with yourself without applause, without validation, without being fully understood? That's real evolution. Free will gives you options. You can ignore the signs, you can numb the emotions, you can cling to what's comfortable even when it's killing you. And a lot of people do, but eventually something cracks. You hit the wall. The identity you built starts falling apart. And right there, in the wreckage, you remember, not because someone told you, not because of a guidebook, but because the truth was always in you, buried under shoulds, shame, and survival. That's the real awakening. Not floating, not channeling. Choosing. Choosing to break the cycle, choosing to listen to your gut when your head says no. Choosing to walk away from what's draining you, even if it looks good on paper. Choosing alignment over approval. And the wild part? No one forces you. Not even your guides. They can whisper, nudge, glitch the matrix a little, but it's always you who has to decide. That's why this dimension is sacred, because you don't just get to awaken, you get to choose it moment by moment. So if you've been wondering why it feels so hard, why clarity comes in pieces, why you're not manifesting like they promised online, it's because this path isn't passive. It's not instant, it's free will in full effect. And every time you choose growth over loops, truth over comfort, stillness over distraction, you fulfill another piece of the contract. Not because you were forced, but because your soul remembered why it came. You didn't stumble on this message by accident. If something in your chest cracked open while listening, that was the contract remembering itself. Now it's your move, not to figure it all out at once, but to take one honest step back toward your truth. And if you're ready to go deeper, I created something for you. A free companion journal to help you unpack your own soul contract, the patterns, the triggers, the power you've been reclaiming this whole time. Download it now at writeonedigital.com. It's 100% free, no strings, just tools for your remembering. And if this content landed, subscribe. I'm almost at 500 subscribers, and every soul who joins helps keep this message flowing to the ones who need it. This is sacred work, and your support makes a real difference. You don't need more answers. You just need to keep showing up for the ones you've already earned. You chose this, and now you remember why.